Goodnight, Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Pictures by Clement Hurd. You heard? Goodnight, Moon. Goodnight. Goodnight, Moon. Goodnight. Goodnight. In the great green room there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light in the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens and good night, mittens and good night, clocks and good night, socks. Good night, little house. Good night, mouse. Good night, comb and good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. Good night, moon. What? Hey, good night, moon. Good night, good night, good night, moon. Good night, good night, good night, moon. I'll talk to you later.